Would I buy Monero in the bear market? This one in particular is challenging for a unique set of reasons why we haven't examined so far, because it doesn't quite fit into the model of a cryptocurrency that I'm looking to buy at cheap prices in ahead of the next euphoria phase, whenever that may be. But it's a cryptocurrency also that just short term I'm really bullish on because it shows a lot of strength. So would I buy Monero in the bear market for the next euphoria phase? There's a lot of reasons why I probably wouldn't, but would I buy Monero right now? Yes. In fact, I'm actually like right now more bullish on Monero for the short term than any other cryptocurrency in the top 30. And so how do I even answer this question? The answer officially is no. But for now, I mean, yes, I would buy Monero. So let's get into what I'm talking about here. We got to do some TA with Monero, and it's simply this. Look at the stochastic RSI on the bottom. It has been trading within this range, a really high range. The stochastic RSI has bottomed out at like 70, and that has been the time to buy, and then topped out really high, like in the 90s, and that's been, the time to take some profits, I guess. But that is the range. That's been the range for the last 2 months, except for one time in particular, which was, when we dumped with the fears of Celsius and the Luna. Well, this was after the Luna dump, Celsius and 3AC and all that. So it went down with the rest of the market. But then ever since then, it's been showing a lot of strength. It's getting really close to its bull market support band. I expect that to break through. It's holding strong above some key moving averages, riding those moving averages up. It's at the bottom of this range. This is I think like an 8-year range that I drew out. And so, when you see it at the bottom of this range, that's a good time to buy. And when you see it at the top of the range, in general, that's a good time to sell. And so Monero right now is just doing very well. And I think what's going on right now is I started noticing strength with Monero around the time that Russia invaded the Ukraine. So right about around this time, I started just looking at Monero, seeing like, oh man, this is showing a lot of strength, riding the moving averages very well. But then what happened? Luna dumped, took the entire market down. Celsius 3AC dumped, took the entire market down. But then once again, it's showing strength. And so I have a lot of hope for the short term that Monero is going to do well. But, how far down is it from its peak? Let's go to coinmarketcap.com. You can see, okay, one of my rules is, did it put in a higher high this cycle than last cycle? It did in this case. It wasn't a much higher high. So that would give me a little bit of caution of looking for major returns here with Monero, but it did put in a higher high. So by definition, this is one that I would buy in the bear market. But another reason why I would probably pass this over in favor of other cryptocurrencies is just seeing how far it's down from its peak. So its peak was what? A little over $400, and now it's $162. Only 63% down from its peak, whereas there's other cryptos that are more than 90% down. And again, if I'm thinking that a cryptocurrency is going to put in a higher high next cycle, which I think Monero will, even if it's just a little bit of a higher high, I want cryptocurrencies that have gone down as much as possible. Monero hasn't done that. It's been strong, which, okay, that's fine. That doesn't quite fit within the model. But all right, Monero. Here's my concern with Monero long term. It's a privacy coin. And I feel like I'm being all over the place here, but statistics, let me see the statistics real quick. I mean, volume is fantastic. Market rank 27, top 30. I'm looking for the tokenomics here, but here's my concern with Monero. All right. It's simply this. Total supply, 18 million. Regulation is coming. Regulation's coming. Monero is a privacy coin. Going to its website, private, decentralized cryptocurrency that keeps your finances confidential and secure. Everything is visible on the blockchain except for privacy coins. And so Monero is not nearly as visible. It's not visible. They want your transactions to be completely private, which opens up the possibility for shady and illegal things. It opens the possibility of, and this is why I think that, it's done well since the Russia invasion of the Ukraine, it opens the possibility of people working behind, underneath the out of the line of sight of a tyrannical government. And does a tyrannical government want people to be able to do something like this? Of course not. And so what does it look like? Some countries have just outright banned Monero. And what does it look like in the future when regulation comes and policymakers, they see something like Monero and know that, the excuse that money laundering happens with Bitcoin, that's nonsense. But money laundering can happen with Monero. Drug usage can happen with Monero. Illegal things can happen with Monero. I don't know how much any government in the world, is going to allow something like this to happen. I think that this is a cryptocurrency in particular, along with some other ones like Pirate Chain, that they're going to want to attack and shut down. Will they succeed? I don't know. And when is that coming? I also don't know. Is that 3 years from now? Is it 5 years, 10 years from now? I don't know the answers to those questions, but it's possible that by the next bull market, that, the next bull run, that Monero is facing intense scrutiny from these regulations. I mean, look at what happened to SRP. SRP didn't put in a higher high this cycle. And so the price was suppressed because of the SEC suit. Something similar could happen with Monero. And so just looking at it again, short term, Monero is showing a lot of strength. Medium and long term, it's not that they're not going to continue to show strength. It's more of a question of like, what is coming? What's coming? I don't know. And so do I want to hold this when there's so many other options? Do I want to hold on to it for that next euphoria phase? I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure. But right now, would I buy Monero? Yeah. Yes, I would. So this one, like I said, it's complicated. And I mean, another thing with the regulations coming is I really think crypto is going to do very well after regulations come, because you're going to get a lot of capital, a lot of institutional investment in. And they're finally going to be able to pour into this, knowing what the rules are. Right now, they don't know what the rules are, and so I think a lot of corporations are staying away. But once those regulations come, I really think that a lot of institutional money is going to pour in, much more so than has already happened, and that's not going to happen from Monero. So it could be one of these things where we see this huge explosion in crypto, and Monero kind of remains as like this back alley thing that, people will use. But, what do you want? If you want the back alley thing, that's fine. But I think most people watching this video want a return on their investment, want a big return on their investment. They want their Lambos, Me, I'll settle for a Mercedes Sprinter, but a Sprinter, that sounds like a sports car. It's a very large van. So anyway, that is what I'm thinking of with this. I would buy it now. I guess I would not buy it for the bear market. So let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear it in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another video. Have a great weekend. Peace.